Well, hello, welcome to Follow Everton. Everton have won again away from home. This time it is a win away at Aston Villa, a side that beat us earlier in the season convincingly. But what a performance this was tonight from Everton, who were absolutely outstanding from start to finish. And straight away, I'm going to bring in Mr. Andy Mabs all the way from Villa Park. He's driving home. He's just witnessed Everton outclass that Aston Villa side. So let's bring in Mabsy.
You
Hi,
okay?
Mabsy.
All right, you okay?
Yeah, good. Thanks. You. That. What was the atmosphere like?
It was absolutely buzzing, To be fair, I got a really bad echo. Can anyone hear that, or is it just me?
No, there's no echo.
All right, okay, I can hear. No, but it was amazing atmosphere from start to finish. Didn't stop singing. Villa didn't sell out at all. We should have had more tickets, to be honest with you. There were like 3-4 rows behind me that were empty. So obviously Villa, I'll just pat the dummy out to not give us the full stand. But you know what? Absolutely amazing from the fans tonight. Just like it was a great atmosphere. Cup games are, and we've got a home draw, I believe.
Yeah, Mabsy. Sorry about that. I was actually due to finish at midnight tonight, but the wedding got shut down 2 hours early. So that's why I'm on the match reaction. Mabsy, the draw is against Burnley at home.
Yeah,
You
so
can't
that's a
argue with
big,
that,
a
can
good
you?
time. Well, it's Dyche's old stomping ground, isn't it?
Wait, is it
So
not a Goodison?
bring it. No, it's like Goodison, but what I mean is this whole team.
Yeah.
So
Mabsy,
it's very
just
good.
give us a little bit more about what your thoughts on the game was, of course, before I let you go.
We should have we should have been more comfortable. That last 10 minutes felt like 5 hours.
Yeah.
It should never have been that like that. Absolutely, everyone was just fricking it. Just as if we were all Everton.
Got to be honest,
But
Maps, from what
we
I
did.
could see, and I did see most of the match. In fact, probably I'd say 95%. Everton looked comfortable even in those last few minutes. It may have felt nerve-wracking at the ground, but we looked like we were completely in control. And the 2-1 actually flattered Aston Villa. I think with a little bit more clinical, cutting edge, perhaps in the key moments when we've improved at that. But I think with another step forward, we would have been well out of sight. And of course, the goal they scored was ridiculous. And in fairness, Babs, did you see the Beto when he got flagged for offside and he was perfectly onside?
Yeah,
He would have ran through and scored and made it.
It's ridiculous. Actually, the referee again shocking. We should have been 3-0 up at our time, to be honest, right? But we progressed, and that's it, isn't it?
Fantastic, Babs. Thanks for your thoughts. I'm going to bring in. I'll let you go. Drive safe. Really good to get Andy actually driving back from the match. He's been to the game, but from a viewing point of view, online, Everton were absolutely magic tonight. It was a fantastic performance. I'll digest that in a moment, but first I'm going to bring in my brother for the next 5 or 10 minutes just to give his thoughts on what he's not. David, he's not happy because he's frustrated. You cannot watch the game in 2023 without having to use a foreign channel, are you?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see the reason for it. It seems to be echoing back on me. I don't know if the sound's good.
The sound's not good.
Feedbacking. Anyway, I'll try and concentrate with my own voice coming back at me. But what
Is
I was
that any
saying,
better?
yeah,
Has
that's
that
good.
fixed it?
Yeah, I can't hear myself now.
For God's
Yeah,
sake.
what's going? No, what I was going to say was, it's just really frustrating trying to watch an Everton performance, trying to enjoy your evening, and you can only really resort to these sorts of websites on the internet, or if you have a special box at home. I don't have the box because I'm not in my home But I'm on the go, and it's difficult to pick up a stream that actually lasts and doesn't sort of freeze up for more than 3 seconds at a time. So I saw the game, but the main thing is we won. We won the game. That's the main thing. Even though I didn't get to see it clearly, I got the gist of it. It was a good Everton performance. Our pressing was what really set the tone for our performance. It's partly down to playing this the back five was a good switch in my opinion, but also just the work rate of the team and that midfield combo they were just all over the place tonight. But it was really good performance generally up to 80 minutes controlling the game. Villa, you've got to ask the question, is it us or is it Villa and Brentford just been really poor for 2 games? Let's see this. Let's see if we can take this into 2 games now that we must be eyeing up to try and get 6 points out of.
Yeah, David. I think there's a problem with the mic tonight, so I'll just mute myself when I'm not speaking. When I'm not speaking, and is that okay now? Yeah. Well, I thought Everton went to the 5 at the back. There was a concern initially over Michael Keane coming in at centre half. I think we looked at that team. We were a bit surprised with the fullback options and Michael Keane coming in at centre half, but he had a fantastic game in the heart of Everton's defence. And he was flanked by Jared Branthwaite on the left side and James Tarkowski as well. And the defence looked comfortable because they had everyone's back. If one went, the other would cover him. And the shape was fantastic. And I think what we did to Aston Villa was it was a very high block with Jack Harrison, with Danjuma, with James Garner and Onana pinning on Aston Villa and Calvert-Lewin dictating where the ball would go to which side. And Everton always looked like they had more players than Aston Villa in any area of the pitch. We looked like we had more on the wings. We looked like we had more in the middle. We looked like we had more in central defense. We just looked comfortable and in control of every situation. And the way we squeezed up on Villa and stopped them, and it was a block, David. It wasn't a frantic press. We blocked them and then we forced them into an area and then we went and we harried. And Jack Harrison was superb at doing that. And Danjuma, I think he was the quietest of the kind of the front 5, if you like. But they were all really put in a fantastic work rate and stopped Aston Villa playing first and foremost. But when they did play around us, because we had the 5 defenders and the work rate in that midfield, we stopped Aston Villa doing anything. And they really couldn't get a grip with Everton's press, with Everton's block, with Everton's directness, willingness to get it into the front. And I think with a little bit more quality and experience, the game would have been out of sight. I think there were opportunities there to go and punish Aston Villa that we could have taken. And I think 1-0 at half time flattered them. And we came out in the second half and the worry was, are Villa going to come back into it? Is it going to be a change of fortunes when they bring in the likes of Ollie Watkins? But Everton were fully in control of what they were doing, and the substitutions didn't really impact anything negatively. Decore came on, Bito came on, McNeil came on, Garner came on, Young came on for Mikalenko at halftime. I think that I'm not quite sure because he didn't have commentary why that happened. But we were just completely, in control of the game. It was only a matter of time before we scored again, and it was Calvert-Lewin again, harrying for Villa, setting the traps, waiting for them to make mistake, and then running through and scoring and past Robin Olsen. And I think we probably could have put 4 or 5 past him today if we'd have just been slightly more clinical. I'm not being negative. I think we were magic. We were fantastic, and we should have beat them and by more goals. It's a position of luxury that we're in, that I'm sat here and I'm actually annoyed about Bito getting put through 1-on-1 and the flag going up for a blatantly great run. He was never offside. You could see it in real time and on the replay. And also the fact that the Aston Villa goal was a complete fluke. I think it comes deflected off Keane and in, and the keeper's furious because Villa didn't deserve diddly squat. But that's my analogy. And I think we've got so much to take from this game. Unfortunately, it's just a 4th round in the Carabao. We trade that for 3 points against Villa earlier in the season. But this is momentum, Dave. This is 2 away wins. This is 2 convincing performances. And you asked the question about Aston Villa. You said, is it Everton playing well or is it Villa playing bad? We made them play bad. We did it to Brentford. We did it to Villa. We made them play bad with the way we set up. We forced them into traps. We made them lose the ball and we punished them. And Everton was superb. And that's all really I can say.
Yeah, I mean, it was the press, in my opinion, and that's where Everton have been strongest this season, is when they've won the ball in high positions and, keep the opposition away from your goal by pinning them back. And, they didn't have the likes of Watkins for most of that game, who's someone who, the ball tends to stick to and he causes a bit more of a nuisance. He didn't really have that outlet. So by forcing them to go long, we recycle it. We've got the three centre-backs who are very good at winning headers at the back or just trying to recycle the ball. So, it really worked. And, we've been playing we're playing earlier balls from the keeper because we've got a big target man, whether that's Beto or Calvert-Lewin, and we can get flick-ons. It can be very effective. It won't work against every team, but, you on a normal day, you'd say Villa will press. Probably Villa will pass through you. They have the quality to do a bit like Arsenal did, but not to the extent that they will pass between us. And I think they did in the 4-0 win. They didn't tonight because we got it a lot better. And it was probably a little bit down to having the wing backs, to pin wide, to allow Danjuma and Harrison to get more narrow up against Villa's. Villa effectively, they play a back four, but they play a three when they have the ball, and one of the fullbacks becomes a sort of attacking fullback, and they play like a narrow three. It comes inside. So we try to match that up with our three attackers and then pin the other two with the fullbacks. And then that left, obviously, the two in midfield. And you asked questions in the past about whether we can play two in midfield. I know Dyche has. And, what it means is they have to step up to the plate. They have to step up. They can't just look around them and look for somebody else. And I thought Onana just took the game by the scruff of his neck, and he just was there for everything. And even if the ball, he'd lose it or the tackle wouldn't go, he'd chase it, he'd get it, he gets spotted. He wouldn't let it go. He just wouldn't let it go. And that's what you want to see from him. And James Garner as well, he was just excellent, just winning the ball back everywhere. Just the two of them were so good at setting that midfield tempo.
Well, I mean, what I felt we didn't do against Villa when we went there was we pressed and it was you go, oh, they've moved it. And now I'll go, oh, and it's over there. Oh, I'll go. Whereas this time it was I'm going and you're going and you're going and they're not going to have anywhere to pass to. So they're going to have to boot it long into Michael Keane, who was brilliant. Meat and drink, and then we'll mop up. We win the second ball. We've got 5 back there when we need them, but we'll have 3 back and 2 sitting in front. So we'll always have enough. We always had enough at the back. Pickford was quick off his line when they tried to play behind us and expose. We were just comfortable. We were just very, very effective. As you say, Onana as a 6 today. They weren't 6s. I'd say they were 2 8s, and they were just up and they were down, and they won the ball back high, and they won it when they needed too low, and they pressed.
They might struggle to play as 2 6s, but playing as 2 8s, they had the third centre back always behind them, so they knew there was always a man to step out. And you notice when Villa tried to play those balls through to the attackers, always you'd have Keane or Tarkowski or Branthwaite. One of them would usually just pull out and try and win that ball, nick it in front, because they always know there's 2 behind them. It was quite successful, but Mr. Blue Skies was saying in the comments, as soon as Gay and Decore came on, we struggled. And I have to say, we did struggle a little bit more than with Onana and Garner, that's for sure. They
slow the game down.
Lost a bit of control.
They slow the game down. They take more touches on the ball. And if you look at the way Everton played, and we've given them so much credit for the press and the block and the way we harried, and as you said, David, that centre-back steps up, there's still 2 behind them and they can go and engage in midfield. I don't know whether the team was also partly down to the fact that Idrissa Gana Gueye was not going to play 3 games in a week, and he didn't have enough midfielders with Gomez injured and Dele injured, etc. So had to bring them in. But it was the way we zipped the ball about. It was the way we controlled every situation, and we kept the ball, and we didn't just gift it back. Decore is slow on the ball. He's laboured. He takes 100 touches. Garner takes 100 touches. He gives the ball away. He's not quick. They're not as good. The distribution's not as good. And I think I want to just praise the likes of Nathan Patterson today. Dealt with everything. blocked, tackled, harried, ran. James Garner did the same. Not Decore. Onana, outstanding. His tackling is superb. It's completely underrated. His engine is there. Calvert-Lewin as well got his goal. The fullbacks were solid. Did nothing got past them. Even Ashley Young, who, when he came on, he was playing for Everton, not Villa this time. And the centre backs were just comfortable, and they had each other's backs. And the keeper did well. I give 8s all round. I think it's a very impressive performance. Now we have to back it up with a win against Luton. Let's see if we can beat Burnley, and it's the furthest we'll have gone in a competition like this in a long time. I just want to credit Dyche as well, because it's 2 very good setups tactically, and it's almost like the season started after the Arsenal. Maybe it was a kick up the backside. Dave, are we okay to go through some comments? And we're not going to stay on too late tonight.
This performance is not just a win for Everton. This is, we got that first win the other day under our belt in the Premier League, and we're taking it on now. We're going to the home of a team that we lose to every single year in, year out. We're going there with that confidence and building on it and making ourselves even more confident. The actual win in the cup, in a way, it's sort of secondary, because I don't think many people believe we will win the cup, although you'll see City got knocked out today and a few other big teams got knocked out. But the win and the confidence that brings going into these 2 home games, is really good.
Yeah, I mean, the comments are great. Thanks for watching, everyone. We love you, and we really appreciate it. We'll quickly whiz through. Yeah, I was due to finish at 12. I probably wouldn't have got back till 2:30, so we definitely wouldn't have done a reaction tonight. But the wedding got shut down because of fighting. That's never happened before in 10 years of playing professionally, but maybe someone wanted me to come and follow Everton. And it definitely is the light shining down on us. 2 wins. 2 wins in a matter of days. I really felt like Everton were gonna well, I thought we would back it up with a decent performance, but you just feel like Everton are gonna scrump it, and you're gonna be back down to earth after winning against Brentford. But no, we backed it up with a win.
Yeah.
Smash the like, subscribe. Let's have a look at this. Brian is saying all of them played well today. The Branthwaite's understanding he's so comfortable. Barry's giving praise for Jack Harrison. TJ Mid said he felt sorry for Beto. Yeah, it's unfortunate that he came on when we took all the other attackers off, and kind of he was just there as a battering ram to try and hold the ball up. But it's frustrating, because I really do think he was sent through on goal with a brilliant run, and the linesman got it all wrong, and that would have been the icing on the cake. And he needs a bit of a lift off, because he's done so well for us. Yeah, Mr. Blues. Go on, Dave.
I didn't actually see the goal that we conceded, because the stream was covered up at that point by a stupid ad saying click the link in the description, which didn't go anywhere. But I could hear what was going on. I caught the back end of it, it deflected in off Michael Keane. But all I was going to say was that, 2-0 would have been excellent, but actually 2-1 doesn't really bother me. I mean, this might bother a lot of people because we conceded a goal and didn't get the clean sheet, which obviously would have boosted confidence. But I think there's something to be said about not being too complacent off the back of a 2-0 win and another win against Brentford, and going into that Luton game at home and thinking of the bee's knees after beating Villa so convincingly. So I think actually that, taking the gloss off the scoreline in a way, might just give something for Dyche to say, look, you can't be too complacent. You've got to finish. You've got to close these games out, and build on the positives, but, add in a few bits. And there was a few bits here and there where you're looking at that, as you said, Beto got a bit isolated. It literally had nobody around him. So even if the ball was lumped long, he wins the header, it's not going to flick onto him. And I saw some throw-ins where they would you'd get a few Everton players trying to create some space, moving around, they come towards the ball, and then the throw-in taker would throw it long. And then even if the centre forward wins the header, the players have gone short. So it's just like a few tactical things that we could look at. But, the performance overall was really good, and you can't really ask for any more when you're winning a cup game. The job is get the cup game won,
what I really liked about this was the fact that every player had their part to play as well, and there's a squad there. And yeah, it's a small squad, but it's a tight squad where everyone's getting minutes because apart from Ben Godfrey, but everyone's got a part to play. David, I have to drive back from Barnsley, which is almost 2 hours, so it's not a long one. It never was going to be. I do appreciate everyone coming on. We value all your comments. We've got Colin saying a great win. Barry says maybe Dyche has got more in his locker. And Gary said it's been more than a year since 2 wins on the trot, which is phenomenal.
Yikes.
Eugene says there's a press conference tomorrow. Yes, at 1:30, and we'll do a Luton preview at some point. Alan says he loves Branthwaite. TJ says Keane scores just unlucky. It was in the net. It was a fluke goal, David. It comes out from a corner. Root it from the edge of the box along the floor, and it just deflects in. It was a silly goal. I'm thinking that's it from me today.
I think we should just, the elephant in the room is that we've drawn Burnley at home, and I think the fact we haven't touched on it at all is kind of epitomizing the fact that we probably think we're not going to win this competition, and it's more about a game in the calendar and building some momentum. But I think a game against Burnley, it's a pretty good draw, isn't it? Out of all the draws you could have got, there's a lot worse that could have come up.
Well, I had nailed on. I see it as a Man City. I know they lost. They lost, didn't they?
They lost to Newcastle, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're playing United now.
My gut feeling was if we'd have got Liverpool or Man City, but they didn't go through, it would have been game over. And all the other teams, I think we would have had half a chance. Obviously, you don't want Newcastle. You don't really want Arsenal,
Chelsea away, things like that. You just
I mean, basically, what is the rest of the draw, Dave?
Well, United drew Newcastle. They've got another tough game now away at Old Trafford. Liverpool are going down to Bournemouth.
Oh, fuck. Of course they are.
I think West Ham or somebody, London teams got, I think it was West Ham Arsenal or something like that. There's hope. There's a bit of hope, if we could get through that game. It's a quarter-final, you never know.
I'd take 17th place and a Carabao Cup win this season.
Cup win or not, it gives you confidence, doesn't it? While you're still in those competitions, there's still a bit, hope.
The main thing is, if anything, you've got goals, you've scored goals, you've set out a stool, a way of playing, players are building confidence and momentum, everyone's getting minutes, and onwards and upwards, and that's all, Dave. Chris is saying Liverpool lost at Bournemouth last season. No.
They did one of them.
Yeah, I remember because I wanted Liverpool to win that game because we needed them. Right, I've got the long drive. Basil, get yourself gone. And have you got something to do now?
No, I've got to wrap up for bed. Sort things out. Work tomorrow.
Okay. I sold your ticket for Luton and I sent you the money. Right.
Yeah.
Right, guys. Like and subscribe. Make sure you do it. Everton won again. 2-1 at Villa. Much deserved win. The most convincing I've seen us in a long time. Well, 3 days. But I think it was it was different. It was different in a good way. And really nice to see. And good night to all those watching. We really value your support on this channel as we've reached 2,500 subscribers. Here's to the next 500 and some more successful Everton wins. Good night. Can you do the theme tune? I'm on my phone.
Goodbye.